sleep.
Every day, all day.
Ah, boy, baby, you got what I want. Won't you really come and satisfy me? I'll be loving you like endlessly.
Oh, yes, I will.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. This is Mars here. I'm with my boy who?
PD,
PD. So today we're going to be talking about what?
the Acolyte.
The Acolyte.
The last two episodes.
Episodes 7 and 8, baby. Wow. What. That's all I can say. Because was there something there or was there nothing there? So before we start off, PD, can you give us a little bit of a background for what happened in the last two episodes? And then we'll go straight into the jugular.
The episode 7 is more of a flashback because we got left with Osha kind of enthralled by the helmet, no pun intended. And then, so we got a flashback episode to what actually happened with the Coven and Osha and that. And they got everything, we got that cleared up. And we see who the full bad guy is and what the Jedi had to do, the wrong they had to do. And then the next episode is the final thing of this person that's revealed, how they all deal with it. And a showdown between Osha and May. And then we find out something that we didn't know, that nobody knew, right? But I did say in my last episode that there would be a kind of role reversal. Yeah. So ultimately, we lead on, and it's leading on to mysteries of, what's his name, Couture. We find a little bit about him, but then of course we're going to have to see a story similar to what we've seen about the other thing.
So, you know, like you said, it's this flashback episode, right?
Yep.
But this is critical because it tells us what basically happened.
Or backstory. It's more backstory.
Yeah. So we've seen throughout the whole season, this has been the big mystery. What happened, right? And so finally, Soul comes clean. He basically tells, is it May?
May is locked up.
May, what happens after
and he
May.
tells her the whole story.
The whole story. You know,
and the story is very weak.
So the story is fine.
The story is weak because there's hints, mistakes, person doing something they didn't expect. We see that these Coven, they turn into these ghost-like dark monsters, and you see something that's dark and black that turns into this huge black mist. What are you gonna do to it? Soul is like, oh, stabs the ghost. It's actually fumes, and how does the sword hit through this thing?
Because it hadn't totally dissipated, right? So
no.
I have no problem with that.
I have a big problem with that. So, and then it was like, oh, it was a mistake. It was just changing form. I didn't understand that. So it's all this thing of, oh, and then there's always points where, wait a second, and then the Jedi go through points where I can't do two things at once. Hey, there's May and there's Osha. And then they also softened, they can't get past, unless they're saying it was in Osha's head, that May said, I'm going to kill, what if I kill you, right? That's what she said. And then we see the fire started. They turn that into a soft moment where, oops, I'm planning to burn this. Oops, I dropped it. That doesn't make any sense. If you plan to burn something, you plan to burn something.
She's a kid, and so the kid makes a mistake. So I have no
problem. The kid is trying to kill the person.
No, she's not.
She said, I'm going to, what if I kill you? You didn't say.
Right, but you can change your mind, right? So the problem is that you're saying you can't change your mind. So
in the moment where she says she wants to kill her?
I'll let you finish, and then I'll say what I have to say, because clearly you're not giving me a chance to say
You just said, no, it's okay. You didn't respond to what I said.
I'm trying to respond, but
no, you said it's okay because it's a kid.
I'll let you go.
You said it was a kid.
I'll let you go. So like I was saying, it's a kid. Clearly, and kids have the ability to make changes. And we understand that because they're immature. That's the way they're built. Now, getting back to the whole thing with the dispersal, it's possible that she didn't totally disperse, and that's how he was able to kill May's and Osha's mother. We may disagree on that, but that's what happened.
Soul also made a mistake. That's the thing. We're not doing solid story where someone makes a decision about what they keep giving us this thing where I have a point, but Soul's reaction is the same as May's reaction. It's both soft and the same thing with
Soft about what reaction to what?
They're not actually interacting. It's all those things so you can have I must, but I must not. This middle line going. Now with the kid, maybe you can try to you can use that excuse. But with Soul, seeing this, where he doesn't know what the form needs, a Jedi. Jedi, of course, they say they need to be attacked, and this thing changing form if you're playing that thing, they use so much restraint on Couture, like he's not using any restraint for no good reason, just because he wants to take Osha. So it's like you have that same thing, and then when you get to who's it?
But you see, I think with him, you can say that, he already thinks the coven is bad, right? And so when she starts to, I guess, dissipate or whatever, he then takes that as an attack and then attacks and therefore kills her. So he kills her mother. And so there's no coming back from that. He kills her mother, and then that, of course, leads to all the actions that May and Osha do in the future. But the question, though, you really have to think is really with the death, the death of the whole coven when they take control of Kalnaka, right? So the whole thing, we see at the very beginning that the whole coven dies, and we're trying to figure out how they died. But we find out that they die because they all they take over the mind of Kalnaka, like a group think type of thing. And then when, I forget the name of the what's the name of the lady?
Trinity. Carrie Ann Moss. Yes,
Carrie
we're
Ann
trying
Moss
to say.
from the Matrix. When she comes in and finally breaks the hold, it ends up giving a psychic death to all of them at the same time. Now, what do you think about that?
That was another bad one. It was a thing where it's not, a half thing of, hey, I didn't know my own strength, and all these people die.